actually do here, that's when I think it's going to be just, because this is like I said before, 2008 crash was just what made me absolutely change, and that opened up a lot there. So when it happens again and on a bigger scale, that's just going to be another huge percentage of the population that realise. But anyway, I didn't mean to cut you off. I just thought that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, truly the problem is ego. There's a lot of blocks by ego saying like working out and accepting that you've been suckered, and people won't hang on to the point that they've been suckered by it. The captain doesn't know what the fuck he's doing, and the ship doesn't know where it's going, and they sail you into high seas all the time. So where's the faith in that? And then you invest all your energy in like what may as well be a sporting match of teams of A and B type personalities, because they know what they're doing psychologically, who you're going to choose, and draw that perfect rift down humanity and get us working against each other. For what? Yeah. What are they actually doing for us? They're not creating satisfaction. They're not giving us a stable. There's no security. If anything, they're feeding us with fear and insecurity. Why do you want to do that? Why do you want to do that? We know what to do collectively.
Yeah, we don't. The crazy thing is, yes, there's the 1%, and then there's the 99%. So we outnumber them. I'm seriously thinking more and more, because I do realise that this is all just this awakening is gone. It really is reaching light speed. The power structure that be, they're going to be, they already are seeing this, they're seeing, wow, okay, Donald Trump's running for election, look at this huge following he's got. They are worrying. In fact, in the news last week, it wasn't on the mainstream news, of course, but there was a sort of, a lot of people got together in their quite high society group, and they were discussing how Donald Trump is a problem. Okay, I'm not glorifying Donald Trump, but I'm just saying he's a real alternative to what we currently have. I don't think I think it would be better. It would be better if he did get in. But the main thing there is the power structure that be are starting to scurry. They're having big closed door meetings, and they're trying to figure out what they can do to stop this. And there's just one little part of me that I want to be wrong. I want to be dead wrong. So I think it's very possible that they're saying we need a way to disrupt this, and the only way they could really, really disrupt this globally is if they caused somehow another big war. And I'm not saying World War III, doom gloom, blah blah blah, but they could do some kind of. It would be quite easy for them to create this artificial war, on a bigger scale. If we're basically, what I'm getting at is we're upping the ante. The people that are anti what is currently happening. If we're getting bigger, they're going to respond, and they're going to try and do something bigger. And when they're doing something bigger, it just ends up being something more radical, something more. They're going to try and become more of a threat. It's possible, and I want to be wrong, but it's something I'm watching closely. As we're getting bigger, they're going to try and get bigger too in some way. And
yeah, but I hear what you're saying on that. But
underground, brother.
I hear what you're saying on that. But but I also think because of the type of technology and the way it decentralizes power. As more and more people, find that their system doesn't work for them anymore, and they come across Ethereum and these decentralization technologies, it just removes their muscle, and they can play the fear card as much as they want. But there's a lot of people that, don't fall for those tricks anymore, and so
I hope so. I hope that the military would turn around and say, nah, screw ya, we're not doing that. Because,
it is happening.
All it takes is a global war. Yeah.
It is happening because, even like, I know a guy who, is quite high up in the Australian military. And when they brought it, and he's, he was fighting in the East Timor War and other wars. And when they brought in the record everyone's metadata, which is basically everything, everyone's recording history, those laws. He just thought, what? I've just been fighting for my country, and now I don't even have a democracy here anymore. He was angry, and he was saying things like, if the Australian government tries to pull anything, he knows how to dismantle the military, and he has too many good ties and good friends in there that would just never, they're good people, the military. They're just good people working in a bad system. That's all it is, and so it will just disintegrate from the inside as well. People have evolved in the brain. A lot of people, more than you realize. Like everyone's, we've been the great thing about Hollywood movies is that they all have good endings.
Yeah.
Yeah, you get this internal power battle. You get internal power battles. That you don't even see on the surface. These good versus evil, and you can't. That's what I would hope is that if they do try to push for some kind of mass war, that the military would rise up and say, you know what? No, we're standing up against you, and your time is. But you've had your time, and now we're entering into a new time, and that's what gives me hope as well. I never get worried or scared. It's pointless. But I'm just very interested in seeing what their response is going to be, what the power structure's response is going to be to this kind of thing. And
they couldn't block Bitcoin, and can the emperor get his clothes on in time? And don't underestimate the goodness that is still out there. But when you have to fight for scraps off the table and try and look after your family, that's what we're seeing. We're seeing the bad side of humanity through artificial scarcity. So I don't think, if you've really looked into it, you'll understand how much into keeping this sort of thing down, and that's probably where you're coming from. But you need to understand why.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Because we are so friggin' dangerous, and we don't. I certainly hope this movement doesn't swing towards revenge or anything like that, because there's a natural cycle of moving through the stream of information, just like there is of losing a loved one, and one of those is anger. So
you're right.
If a collective hits anger at a certain point, and they know who these people are, that's something that we need to diffuse fast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I agree completely. You are right. It's one of those triggered emotional responses, and if you have that happening all at the same, not good. Because it's not productive, obviously. Yeah. Good point.
Yeah, but I mean that's what I love about Ethereum, like that, and that's the beautiful thing about the feminine energy and mothers. When mothers see something that's not fair or not right, they raise the issue, and they say this is not fair, even if it's anger towards people who are misguided and causing harm to humanity. They'll raise an Ethereum issue. They'll raise the issue through the Ethereum network, and people will get behind it and put a stop to it because people's hearts are just that good anyway. People don't believe in suffering. There's a lot of people that just don't believe in it, and they no matter how bad somebody has acted or how ill, and normally a lot of these people at the top of these hierarchical chains, I think that they're just misguided. I really think they're misguided souls, and they've lived in the capitalism system for too long, and they've just lost touch in reality with the ecosystem that they live inside, and they just need a little tap on the shoulder and a little bit more love, and they'll be fine. And there's Ethereum systems that will rise out of all the chaos to support those types of activities.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean that.
When you brought up the feminine energy, I sort of like, I think it helps me elaborate on where I was going with what we're doing, because if you look at humanity traditionally, any transfer of information was done with the ceremony, because the ancients, I do believe, knew that information without feeling is just information. So they had ceremonies. So it is the union of if you want to look at it in a spiritual sense, it's that union of feeling with information that locks people into an understanding, because just information on its own does not have an effect, and feeling on its own is too scattered to have an effect. But when you marry those two together, so that's why I was sort of like, where's the feeling, guys? Where's the feeling? Because I understand that this needs to be more of a ceremony, a celebration. It has to have that feminine energy attached for anyone to have any sort of trigger in their heart, and a marriage of the energies to be taken forward. So that's the Reader's Digest version, but still you can see in nature when those two energies come back together, they always create. So I always look for the patterns in nature, and I see when the male and female energies come back together, they create something. And that's the strength in that. So that's why I was sort of like, this is a bit dry, dudes. Not because it's just an opinion, it's just a study of the patterns of nature that I've learned on my journey. Because it's all just data, and the world's just like a street that we walk past and we look in different windows and we get information. I've been down a different street.
I think it's, yeah, we've just gone down.
Streets you guys have been down.
We've just gone down one train of thought for a little bit too long, and now this is just part of us, incredible beings, redesigning the way we live, or getting back, looking at the stars again and getting getting back on track, and one of the things I want to say, I think the spiritual community have no idea about Ethereum yet.
Yeah.
And when they get behind it, and there's so many of them around the world, and when they get behind this, they're just going to be like far out. They're going to go a little bit like big, they're going to get too excited for a while. I mean, imagine when they find out about it, and that wave of excitement, like, just like a flower flashes through the whole crowd, or through the whole, and how excited they're going to raise, just that those spiritual people, maybe 1 in 10 people, or 2 in 10 people, whatever it is, they're just going to raise the happiness level of the whole globe quite quickly when they realize the potential of what's about to happen.
So you guys are more intimate with the people involved in this, and would you say it's about 80% male?
Yeah.
It'd be 80% male. See, that's what's reflecting, and that's not why it's not sticking. Because it's just logic. It's just male logic, and it's quite, actually it might be perfect the way that it's going, and it's just been developed in logic by coders, and that's a completely male realm, and that's why it's so hard to trigger a heart, because they don't get the implications. But I think what we did tonight, well, it is really like, it will get, like before Tom turned up, it will stimulate the heart space to look for the knowledge to fill it, instead of giving the knowledge and trying to stimulate the heart space. We've come from a different angle.
It triggers people to look into it for themselves, which is important, because you can't show someone the matrix. They have to see it for themselves. That's how I feel.
Yeah.
Cool.
All right.
Yeah.
I think I think that was good work, what we've done tonight, and I think that's exactly what we wanted.
Yeah,
it's good enough to let people trigger something, all right, what are they talking about exactly? We gave them a good, clear idea, and we mentioned, everything. So people are going to start looking up at Ethereum, which is what we need people to be doing. We don't need to be selling anything. It's just, hey, find out, look into what this is for yourself. There's some amazing things you can do with it. And I think what's going to make Ethereum so big is we're going to have a whole lot of people coming up with their own ideas on the different use cases. Because we keep saying, like, the potential hasn't even been realized yet. We're only tapping into something that's so new, and people are going to, all around the world, like, even we know this guy in America who's just absolutely, like, he's so pumped for it.
Oh, he is.
And,
so excited.
And people I know, like, it's so cool to know people like that. And Tom's the same way. And I think we all are, really. But people are just pumping out ideas like, oh my God, okay, this can be done, this can be done, this can be done. And if you have a really big base of people doing that, just think how far that can go. So what we need to be really doing is spurring people to do the same. All right, this is the opportunity. How far do the possibilities go? Like, where does it end?
Yeah, I think we all need to be asking people, like, how do you want to see the world? Because it lets them decide how they want their world to be.
If you could improve the world, what would you do to improve it? Which element or aspect would you? And then it's all everyone's on a personal level.
Yeah, and that's what it's about. It's about that liquid democracy, or that individual participation. Because with the hierarchical systems, or these capitalism systems, or even the socialism systems, well, all of them basically, all these systems in the past, it's the little man. They feel like they can't. The little man or woman. They feel like they can't make a change. But this Ethereum stuff actually just gives them access to actually making a change for themselves, and them adding their contribution and their touch and their say in how they want to see the world. And then that's where the global consciousness, or the wisdom of the crowd, sort of kicks in, that and we start building our world the way we want to see it, the way we all know that there's a better way. I mean, I remember when I was 6 years old, and I was thinking, I realized, hang on, people are putting money before actually somebody's health.
Their life.
Yeah, before a life. And that really was strange to think. And then after like 12 years of schooling, like, I got used to it. And that was just the rules of how it all works. But then, then I made some money when I was 24, like a fair bit. And it gave me, the ability to not work for 3 years. And money wasn't obviously a reason to do things anymore. And it made me realize, hang on, there's a lot more to life than just surviving. And we need to help each other to do that, to move to the next thing. And now Ethereum offers that, that solution, that people can move out of that just surviving mode and just making enough money to survive. And they can just know that they're going to have, residual income for the rest of their lives, or, whatever that word income means, and know that they're going to be taken care of for the rest of their lives, and they can focus on making a difference in other human beings' lives again. And that's
moving forward. We're moving forward as a race. We're going to reach the stars, It's all that kind of thing that every generation has aspired towards the same thing. And it's all that potential is being unlocked. So I'm a deep thinker about it all. And
me too.
I'm looking forward to seeing, by the time I'm 30, and then, what's happening then, another 10 years and I'll be, another 20 years, where will we be? So...
And it's finally like, look at how this makes you significant and gives you hope. And like you say, you don't have to sell it. They just have to understand it. And the best way that I think that we've done tonight is look at the potential of it. That's it. Because this is the best chance humanity's ever had in the history of the world, to work as one and be as one and make the appropriate changes.
See, this generation knows what's wrong. The previous generations maybe not so much, because they don't know any much different. But we're starting to realize, as new things come along, how it can be improved in the current system. And as the current generation, it's a natural effect. But as the older people running things and whatnot, whatever, it's just going to be a new generational push of new ideas, and it will be all implemented by all the people coming up. So
what's actually happened is they've run out of shit to sell us for surrogate happiness.
Yeah, they have.
They've run out of shit. There's nothing on the shelves, and there's people are working it out. Oh, I've got my Ferrari, I've done this, I've got my trophy wife, and they've run out of shit. There's nothing left on the shelf. You think back to the 50s and that, when it was all about the family, and then you can see the evolution of it if you think about it, and there's nothing left on the shelf. They can't sell us anything.
There's no more American dream.
Yeah.
There's no more carrot to chase.
But it's so well. I've always thought that's so well named, the American Dream, because it's not a reality.
Propaganda. Yeah.
It's propaganda, yeah.
Yeah. The American Dream, all right.
Anyway.
It's going to be the word revolution just keeps coming back to me. So we'll see it happen. Definitely, we'll see it. We'll see a change in the current system, and people will just have to adapt, and everyone's going to see the benefit. It's just a natural shift. Okay, time to jump ship.
Well, what I love is that, like,
it's going to be a point where it feels like that.
Yeah, and I mean, what I love is it's just as, this revolution is just as simple as it's literally as simple as just downloading a piece of software on your computer and just using the software. That's all it is. And it just takes down all the barriers that governments created or corporations have created. And it's just, and how many, everyone's downloaded a piece of software on a computer now. So it's as simple as that. That's what the revolution really is. You're just literally going to the computer and downloading a new piece of software, the Ethereum wallet. Or the Mist browser. That's all it is. So it's that. It's that.
Any other revolution was easily corrupted because it had leaders. That's the way they did it. If you've read the documents and that, and the COINTEL Pro and all that, this is unstoppable because there's no central node, there's no central person, there's no one, there's nothing to attack.
That's what I love about Anonymous. It's the same idea. Yeah. There's no one central authority.
But yeah,
that's unstoppable.
Yeah, just inevitable, really.
Cool.
And everyone's going to just ride the wave. And
it's a natural cycle.
Mm.
They tried to sell us everything, and there's nothing left on the shelf.
Well, that's why we had terrorism and all that sort of stuff, and there's less chance of more chance of getting hit by a car than a terrorist.
The trust trumps the fear.
Mm.
Because this has got integrated trust, it trumps the fear. I mean, imagine that you don't even need the police and you get on the phone, and because of the scarcity in that, your neighbours don't come even out to help you. Once that scarcity's gone and people start to interact, I don't need the police. I just go get on my smartphone, push a button, and I got neighbours bellowing down the street. We don't need this centralised authority. People will look after themselves.
I loved what you said about deception used to be like a commodity, but now we're in a new age where truth is the valuable commodity.
That's it.
So true.
That's true, right? Yeah.
People have learned that deception isn't the way forward, the answer, the valuable commodity. No, the truth is, So it's a good. I like that. It's true.
Yeah.
Just thought I'd say that because.
It just I don't know, it just comes out,
Yeah.
I was a bit rigid when I start off. I'm not I'm basically the hermit at the end of the garden in the manor. But I don't mind talking to people that don't want to talk about, because I was just immersed in my old work where it was just women, cars or football, and I didn't have any interest in, I still like women, don't get me wrong. But I didn't have any interest in listening to others' relationships and footy scores and how they've done up their car. So
that's
brings me out of my shell.
That's just all the carrot systems of the cheese of the old system.
Yeah.
The mouse's
cheese. Got nothing left to sell.
Yep. Exciting times.
Right.
I think I've spoken about this non-stop, I've just been connecting with so many human beings, and sharing the passion, and there's so much going on about it all.
That's what struck me last night, and that's why I struggled to get to sleep, because every time I spoke to Tom, Felix is going, my real passion is Ethereum, and it's set course to just get some, just like I'm in the position, try to get rid of the overheads and just trying to survive. But the real passion is Ethereum, so.
I keep coming back to it.
Because that's what it represents, It represents just a new way.
But we can cover our overheads. We can cover our overheads and do what's in our heart. And that's why I sent you what I sent you this morning. I went, holy shit, why are we mucking around with all this crap? This is where our passion is. And you can see by what we've just done on YouTube, that's in our heart. not selling tweezy, mate, not hocking shit on Facebook. It's not in your heart. This will work.
It's
our
keep
passion.
Yeah, I keep for a while my brother and I have been selling shoes on the internet, but my heart is not in it. And what do I focus on spending all my time selling shoes on the internet, which people need shoes, but my heart's not in it. I can see I'd rather have less money and more consistent money by just talking about my passion, which is Ethereum, and maybe it's more money. I don't know. Like, I haven't done the calculations, but it depends how big it all grows. I'm sure it'll grow big. But
what's worth more, really, is social change or numbers in a bank balance?
Yeah, it's social change.
I've asked myself.
Yeah, it's that ability to be able to move and shift things that has historically have never moved in our environment, and now they can start moving. And what? Wow! Oh, you get funded along the way as well. There's nothing better than that. And then you can just wake up each day and focus on that one thing and helping people, and that's it. It's just wow. Oh my God, there is a system that actually supports these good social changes now. Wow, that's incredible.
Not only do you help people, you help people help others. So it can just go viral.
That's what I mean? It will do.
All on top of building a platform to free humanity. Oh, come on. Yeah. You can't not be into that.
I mean, isn't that what governments were meant to do? Yeah. Isn't that what governments kept promising that they would do, but it doesn't work out? And isn't that what charities say they'll do, but it doesn't happen? We've been hearing the same story on the TV for the last. I'm 30 now. I've been hearing the same story on the TV for 30 years. Or there's the last 20 years I can really remember, and it's the same story. It's so weird. We're not moving anywhere.
Where it should.
Yeah.
And then you hear about a few scientific discoveries, and then that's it, and then nothing happens, and then a few go up, help, and that's about it. The only thing that's really been happening is computers have been getting faster and faster.
Yeah.
To distract people as well, part of it, here's the latest iPhone, cool. What's actually happening in the world now? Who cares,
Little
iPhone.
Fixes, fixes for the materialistic junkie. But, like those hits are getting shorter and shorter, and you can see the dissatisfaction. And even I was signing up for a job today, and I had to turn around and grab, one of those items off the shelf that I'm talking about. And I'm going I don't have the energy for this crap. I do not want to do the paperwork. This is just, but this is just getting by. But this puts fire in my heart,
3 weeks ago, I was doing the same thing, man. I was at an interview. There was about 40 of us there. For me, there's ridiculous 40 freaking people for one, a few spaces. And we all sat down. We had to deal with that. And I was thinking, what? How can you get passionate? It just was a joke. It was a joke, and it was it's an outdated model, I think, of job interviews. And I think it's outdated. But what you just said, I'd rather work on something. I know it's going to be big, so it's just watching it all happen.
Oh, we're so early.
Sitting down to a rigged card game,
and
that's all that you do.
And we're so early.
Get a few chips and walk away, but the whole thing's rigged, and you've got no choice because they're only playing cards. Let's play fucking Lego instead.
We're so early though as well. This is just so early still. It's still in programmer phase. It's still in command prompt phase. It's not even ready for the public, to start interacting. But we do the public need to start talking about this and talking about how they want to use this technology and this revolution. But what you're saying about the job there, Felix, there's so many people that are looking for jobs all the time, and that's not the right solution anymore. And the fact that it's doing that, it's creating this scarcity mindset. And I wouldn't be, and then you have the government saying, oh yeah, everything's fine, don't worry, everything's fine. But then what? You've got 40 people showing up to one job. That's your real world experience. And I've seen similar people and got similar friends who are in similar situations. I've got a friend who's fully qualified engineer and can't find a job. What's going on there? You know, what the gas industry's gone down, and
yeah, you go.
yeah, the gas industry's gone down, and there's no jobs. There's all these miners that can't get jobs. Like, you know, things are winding up, and the governments are saying that everything's fine, but really, I think we're just slowly hitting a bigger and bigger recession until it gets to a depression. But now, you know, and this is all orchestrated. I think this is just part of, you know, big business. But you know, natural thing like what happened in the 1930s. But now we've got the internet. Now we've got innovative, smart programmers. Now we can do workarounds. We've got a breakaway system, you know, a better system, more intricate system, and you know, it's a better solution. I think, you know, people were just looking for a better thing, and people knew there was going to be a better thing that came along at some point. Just like has happened through all the ages, something better comes along, and here's the next one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's all built on trust.
Mm-hmm.
Not like Bitcoin had to earn trust, but this is inbuilt trust.
And now, yeah, like, you know, it's funny, like we measure GDP and all this sort of stuff, and you know, when we measure like growth as doctors are going to treat more sick people, or you know, more and more people going to doctors for different reasons, or you know, someone's depressed or whatever, and we measure that as growth in our country right now. And
and they count it as like, and the more GDP, just to throw things in there to prop up this idea that everything's growing when it's all for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, like more cancer. Oh yeah, good. We're spending, you know, $100 million on cancer now per year, whatever it may be for whatever country, and they call that growth, and that's not a very good measurement, not a good scientific measurement of a healthy society. So yeah.
Just as a bit of a subject change, I was thinking about how we always identify ourselves by our career path and that, and I was thinking about colony and that, and you can have any role you want within that, you know, if you've got the skills, you can have any role. So what are you? I'm in 4 projects. You can't even identify what you are, and that's the freedom to be who you are, that you don't have a choice. I'm an engineer. I go do engineering, and that's what I'll do because I need that friggin' carrot, and I've got a reputation as that. You know, it turns everything on its head, doesn't it?
Oh, it does completely.
Yeah.
And people think that, you know, there's this social, you know, sort of like unspoken rules in society that as soon as you choose you're going to be an engineer or a nurse or a doctor, you can't change. But, you know, we live in the information world. Like, for the last 10 years, I've been thinking, you know, the more I be on the internet or the more I'm researching, I'm just an information node, and I just, you know, I process information. I tell other people I tell other people information, and you know, and we all elevate because of it, and that's all. And you know, who says that we have to be one thing? I mean, I'm not like my cells, my neurology inside my brain has so many different intricate thoughts about everything, you know, and they apply to different subjects, and you can't really classify anyone as anything when we're all just these unique human beings that can process incredible amounts of information and deliver the right intelligence to other human beings at perfectly the right time. So all these supercomputers or super brains are just coming together, and that's really what Ethereum unleashes for people.
Unreal. Well said.
Just to say a little bit
Unreal.
of what I think. All right.
Oh, righto. It's like giving each other a tickle, isn't it? It all just makes us really happy.
Yeah, it's the goodness that people have been looking for a long time.
Yeah, but it's